feeling better than I did last video. And I'm so glad that I am, because this episode was a lot. It's not where I expected episode 11 to go, with us drawing so closely to the end, especially for some characters. But yeah, let's get into this review and let's talk about it. This is episode 11, season 1. Would you like to know the sex? I don't know why I heard Salt and Pepper, let's talk about sex. That is not the name. But okay, we start off with the group working out in Kwame's aerobics class, and unlike almost a year ago now, it's not a struggle for Arabella to get through this workout. You know, these extensive, these really, really intense workouts. Like, she's pushing, she got there, and she was, you know, excited to complete it. You know, unlike, you know, last time we saw her, she like fainted on the floor, like it just took so much out of her. But afterwards, she dives into The Sundown, the new book that we saw her reading last episode. Kwame gets a text message from Tyrone, and I had to go back and look at the text message, because I'm so used to Kwame getting those overt sexual text messages. I just assumed it was one of those. But right then I went like, you know what, let me go read it. We never know what it is. And I'm glad I went back, because it was a message from Tyrone, the gentleman from last episode, asking, you want to go kayaking? That was so weird to see on Kwame's phone. That was a weird text message to see on Kwame's phone. None of that, bring your ass here, boy. No, none of that. Would you like to go kayaking? And even Kwame's like, what? I'm not used to getting these type of messages to my phone. But we get into Terry, who's having a whole meltdown because she finally got a call back. She finally got a part. And with how she reacted, you would think that this is maybe the first time Terry's got a call back or got a part. If it wasn't the first time, it's been a very long time since she actually got a real call back. You got the job, show up on set situation. Because homegirl was, oh my God. Like, I was like, who died? I got it. I got the part. Like, way to go, Terry. But we cut back to, you know, the yard, and the group is setting out, just Terry, Kwame, and Ben. And we see that Kwame is kind of feeling down on himself. Like, I'm not feeling this relationship stuff. Like, we're going for walks, and we're talking. He's cooking. We're dating. Kwame is dating. Kwame has a man. Kwame's not used to that. Kwame is used to wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. I'm done. But Kwame is feeling like Tyrone is too good for him. And we kind of get a feel for how Tyrone is, because he immediately compares Tyrone, you know, Kwame's like, and says like, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough to go kayaking and get taken out on dates, and someone to, you know, treat me with human decency. Someone to genuinely like me for something other than some sexual, my body, the physical. Someone's looking beyond that and wants to be with me just because they like me. This is too much. We really get deeper into Kwame's psyche this episode, because up until this point, of course, the assault is a whole separate situation. But I saw Kwame's, you know, lifestyle as his preference, not because he didn't think he deserved anything better than that. And we see that Kwame is carrying around this guilt. And I'm thinking the guilt is from his lifestyle choices and how he's, you know, carried himself, especially since the assault. And the date situation with the woman where he, didn't tell whole truths and withheld situations. I'm gay, hello, still want to hang out. Kwame didn't do that, so Kwame's carrying that around. We cut back to Bella because we're waiting on Bella to go out and celebrate me getting this part. Bella's in the bathroom reading the sundial yet again, because we were reading the sundial in the aerobics class and now we're reading it. Bella is in love with this book. She sees herself in this book and in this author, and she comes out and Terry is immediately pouring on praise. I'm so proud of you for moving on. But we see when Terry goes to look for Bella and she goes into her bedroom, those 2 bags, hefty, those 2 bags are still there. Those black bags are still there. Granted, that room is clean, cleaner than we've ever seen it. There's nothing under that bed anymore, which we saw from the last episode. That anatomy poster is up. It's clean, but those bags, that baggage, that pain, that hurt, that Bella is continuing to carry around, it's still in that room. It's still just sitting there, smack dab in the middle of the room. She has, hasn't thrown it away yet. So we're not as past as we'd like to be, or as, Terry would like for us to be. Like, Kwame, has a man now. I got a part. You told your mom. The truth is out about me. You met up with Simon. You gave back the cellar. Girl, we're done with this. Let's go cleanse. Bella not trying to hear that. No, and Terry goes, right, Ben, aren't you proud of her that she's moved on? Ben is like, moved on from what? What? I love Ben. Like, I have been listening to multiple commentaries on this show, and there's always the question of, what is Ben's role? What is he hiding? I don't think Ben is hiding anything. I think Ben is a genuinely sweet man who stays to himself and keeps it real on the low. Like, she ain't past nothing. But Terry's talking, let's go cleanse, let's go get body wraps, let's go get some good food, let's go something. And Bella's like, I love this book. I'm in love with this book. Our names are matching. She's going down all of the things that her and this author have in comparison. And this author is from Henny House. Susie. And Ben's like, if you're so inspired and you want to meet them so badly, how about you go ask, the publishers. And Bella's like, I wrote nothing, so. You what? I haven't written anything, so if I go to them to ask them, can I meet this fellow writer, it's not going to come off okay because I haven't done my part. I haven't written my draft. So for this whole year, Bella has yet to complete her draft. Okay. Terry and Bella, come up with this bright idea to, let's just, shoot a video and send it to her. And Bella's, trying to be honest, forthright. Like, I'm scared, I'm desperate, I haven't written anything, I'm a struggling writer, you're a fellow artist, I was touched by your work, let me meet, I want to meet you. But no, which was fine. Like, we're keeping it 100. But, we want to listen to Terry. And Terry's, as a fellow thespian, because she just got this call back, instructs Bella to do this whole rehearse situation with her femme t-shirt on and this Eddie Murphy golden child hat on. God, I hated that. I hated that. I don't know why she got that damn hat on her head. And whole 80s, I want the knife, please. Eddie Murphy golden child hat sitting on her head. When we know that when Bella is not being honest and true with herself and she's putting on another persona, she puts something on her head. She puts a hat on, a wig on, a scarf on, but when Bella is just being open and being Bella, we get nice, smooth, bald head cheekbones Bella. Bella did not wear one thing on her head last episode. Not one thing. And she was finally honest and, spoke to her mom. Didn't wear one thing on her head. No horns, no none of that. But okay, she does this whole setup on the toilet of all places. Okay, Terry. And Ben's looking like... But, they send the video and they're waiting for a response. Like, man, I want to meet her. Blocked. Like, who is this crazy person sending me a message on the toilet with a golden child hat on, asking to meet me because they feel a mutual understanding of writing and I'm inspired? Girl, I'm not trying to meet you. Blocked. Bella makes the smart decision to go to Henny House without a thing and going up that infamous elevator, and we get that little... I don't know what the song is, but it plays every time she goes to Henny House and gets in the elevator. Susie House, Henny House, greenhouse, because there are plants everywhere. Now, I don't remember there being so many plants last time we were in her office, but maybe I just missed them, or maybe the camera angle was different, but there are hella plants everywhere. And Bella, she's admiring them and making small talk. And Susie immediately interrupts her and goes, "Do you grow? Do you grow? Because I'm here in my high-rise office. I love plants. I'm putting my work into them, my effort into them, my money into them, my heart into them. I want them to grow. Do you grow?" And Arabella's like, well, not really. I'm not much of a grower. Wrong, girl. Why you say that? Why you say that? Why did you say that? We kind of see where Bella is, because she's like in this alternative universe where she can not turn in a draft, not make any real effort for these publishers, and still ask for favors, ask for money, ask to meet fellow writers. No. We already saw episodes ago, Susan was not for the people. Granted, she is, though it may not be in the best way. She's giving people opportunities such as yourself. But honey, I can't keep backing you if you're not giving us any product. Do you grow? Not really. Not right now. I'm not growing nothing. Bella makes this off, joke about us being, melanated, and Susie just doesn't get it. It's just like, And Susie, makes another comment about race, and Bella goes, "I don't get it. I'd have to get back to you." What? Why you say that? I don't get it. I have to get back to you. Just like you already got to get back to her with this draft. You don't get the joke. You got to get back to her. You're not growing. All things are saying stop. Red. Red rum, red rum. Where's your draft? Where is your draft? You're coming here. I'm assuming you're coming for your draft. Oh yeah, what's the word count? I mean, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm actually here because I was reading the sundial and I was hoping that I could meet Della. Remember you said, way back when I came to ask you for another favor, for money. Yeah, can I get that favor? Can I meet, this fellow writer? Bella was like setting herself up for failure. Like, what were you expecting? She had already made the statement prior to Ben and Terry why she didn't want to, but it was just such a need for her to meet this writer. She went against the grid and went and met up with Susie anyway. And right away we see where Susie is mentally, like, okay, so no draft. Okay, yeah, but yeah, whatever I said. No, she can't help you with anything. Yeah, see you later. And Bella knows she's messed up, and that's why when we get in that elevator, dun, 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 elevator, it's going down, and no music is playing. Nobody's in there with her. It's complete silence. Bella goes back to her, publishers after the failure of meeting this wonderful Della. Yeah, we have to drop you. And she looks so shocked, like, what? But it's only, been a year. It's only been a year. You guys want to drop me now? Like, why? Granted, we understand. And it's been really hard for Bella since the assault and everything she's had to go through. But you can only expect so much. These people didn't care about your assault to begin with. They're definitely not going to care a year later when you show up with no draft, no book, no prospects. So the publishers let her know that we have to start the process of repayment. So everything they gave you towards all this advancement, you have to pay that back now. Bella is shook. Cut to Kwame. And before we even get to that, after that whole conversation Kwame had with homegirl in the hat, it made me think of when he was with the group earlier and he was talking, I'm not really a good person. I'm not the best person. And Terry was like, no, babe, we're goals. What are you talking about? Kwame had it right. Kwame sits down for dinner. For the life of me, I could not remember her name, and I'm not even going to try to. I'm just going to call her Gray Hat. Gray Hat. I guess she agreed to show up because why? Because clearly we had no intentions of forgiving Kwame. Kwame is there for forgiveness, to ease his conscience and his soul so he can feel a little bit better about being with Tyrone, who's such an amazing person, apparently. And she's like, are you serious? Why would I forgive you? Why would I let you back into my space? If you did it one time, you can do it again. And Kwame isn't making it any better. Like, I'm sorry, you were an experiment. I just planned to, to sleep with one woman, one time and never think about it again. But, you're so dope and we had so much fun together. I was hoping we can continue that. And, we can just forget about that and move on because I'm sorry. No, Kwame, it does not work like that. And rightfully so, she's like, you should be arrested. But, predators and criminals are rarely arrested. Like, I'm in group. Like, I learned this from fellow women. Like, you've driven this woman to group. Clearly, she's offended. She's assaulted. She's bothered. And when she gets up and walks away, Kwame's like, yeah, I tried. Kwame, you and Terry, you are not goals. You are not goals. So Being Bella and Terry are sitting outside some restaurant, and well, it's a frequented restaurant because last episode we saw the same waiter. But Bella is crying. She's hurt. She says she's in terrible debt, and she's gonna have to figure out how she's gonna repay it. What is she gonna do? Meanwhile, Terry is listening, but she's also flirting. We saw her flirting a little bit last episode with this same waiter. She kind of exchanges numbers. While that's happening, Bella gets a text message from Della, and she says, when you want to meet up? Bella instantly has this giant sigh of relief, and this big smile comes over her face. And she takes off that hat. Like, anytime she has something on her head, I'm wired. Take it off. She takes off the hat. Terry was like, okay, cool. Chases after the waiter. They go, they sit down, and waitress comes up, or looked like someone who may have been either gay or transitioning, I don't know. But she says, I saw you on the flip side, and I just want you to know that I'm a fan. And Terry's like, doesn't elaborate too much, excuses herself to go to the restroom. Cut back to Bella sitting outside of this restaurant. I'm assuming that she texts, this is where I am, come and meet me now. Della is Zane. Zane is Della. Zane wrote the sundial under a different name because he is completely trashed now, tarnished. His reputation is done, and he didn't want to risk anyone, denying his material just because of his association with Bella and being, an assaulter. His whole spot is blew up. He is been doxxed and all of this stuff online, because remind you, Bella is a local celebrity, and that started from the situation with Zane. So he can't go on being Zane the writer anymore. Right now he's Della. Why he decided to make his name rhyme with Bella? But he shows up. He shows up, and it left me a little speechless, because Arabella was really calm, and she's like, yeah. What's up? I'm waiting for someone. No. Like, yes. And when the revelation happened, I was like, okay, bye. Bella's like, sit down. I was frightened for 2 seconds, up until I saw her taking back a little bit what was taken from her from a separate assault, and internally just taking back everything. It's like, we're out in the open. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not scared anymore. Sit down. Like, try anything, I'm busting your ass. Was it comfortable to look at? No, it was not, because I was like, and even for himself, you kind of saw Zane taking a little accountability for the situation, because if he didn't think there was any fact in what she said and what he did, he wouldn't have shown up the way he did. He didn't seem angry. He didn't seem resentful for, like, I can't even use my name anymore because of what you said about me. I'm tarnished. He's like, no, I'm here to help. I didn't help you last time, so I'd like to help you now. Wow. Growth. Cut back to Terry. Terry Googles, what the flip side is, and goes back to the table. And, she's she looks uncomfortable. And of course her date notices that, and he's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, and the third, moved here for that, blah, blah, blah. And I have a vagina between my legs. Leave it up to I May Destroy You to hit us with 2 whammies back to back in one episode. I was like, what? And I swear, last episode when Terry kind of, noticed him then, I was like, he's a little short. Like, he has a very feminine face. I don't know why. But I wasn't thinking that at all. I wasn't thinking that it was actually a woman. But, he's like, I came here to, do music, and that didn't work out. Now I'm this. And he's like, bet you don't want that food now. Bet you want to get up and walk out of here. And Terry's like, no. If I leave, I don't want anybody to think I'm transphobic. I'm fine. And they sit there and talk and have dinner. I would like for someone to put in the comments why you think when Terry finally does get a love interest all the way now, episode 11, it's a trans person. But I saw some growth on Terry's side, because I thought Terry was gonna get up and walk out. I didn't think she would even sit for dinner. But she sat, and they were actually vibing, getting into decent conversation. This is when my eyebrows proceeded to fall off my face. Bella is going on about, how, I don't actually have a draft, but I have, been taking all of these random notes. And Zane is like, I like to see them. It's a way, that we map things out, these storyboards, and it, helps you figure out where you want things to go and what you want your book to look like. Bella says, I have them, but they're at home. You want to come home, back to my house, in my room, in my yard, in my space, and look at them? What? It was one thing for them to be sitting out in the open at the table. It's another to go back to the scene of the crime, to that room. It was really hard, but, I saw it. I saw her, taking that power back. Not only can I sit here and talk with you without a problem, I'm not scared, I'm comfortable, I'm okay. But the room, y'all went back to your room. They went back to her room. The place that he slid that condom off. But okay. Okay. They go back to the room, and, they're sitting there, going through, and has everything, mapped out on her bedroom wall. Is standing, she's on the bed, they're handing, they're going, they're sticking and mapping. This couldn't have been me. But that just lets us know how far she's come this whole year. Because Bella 6 months ago, Bella 8 months ago could not have done this. But Bella's like, I'm so cool, calm, and collected that we can go in my room. We can go back to where you assaulted me, where I was assaulted for the second time. And I'm okay with it. Okay. We cut back to Terry's date, and they're kind of getting into conversations of maybe, I've done this, I've done that. this is cool, this isn't. He's thinking that maybe Terry's a little bit of a square, Terry's a little bit of a prude. And just like with the hair commercial, the craziest thing I've ever did, Terry brings up her having a threesome. And finally, someone tells her, well, the way you're making it sound, how you're, talking about the story, that wasn't, any circumstance, by chance, situation. They knew each other. They set that up. And, Terry's like, well, yeah, but, and he's like, no, you were set up. You were preyed upon, in a sense. And Terry finally, has the acceptance of, I was. That is what happened. They did leave together, didn't they? That was so good for Terry, because that situation had been lingering since episode 3. And she's accepting that did happen to me. It wasn't some grand, sexual, promiscuous, fabulous moment. I was preyed upon. Some people, spotted me, and hey, you approach her first and I'll come afterwards. It was, premeditated. So it's not the same as spontaneous. It was, voluntarily. She wasn't, taken against her will. But there's a difference. And for this person to acknowledge that for her and meet here with her on that, that's big for her. And that's big for whatever relationship they could have in the future. But this, this is a big moment for Terry. I just want to know the significance of it being a trans person. Not that there's anything wrong with it or anything, but it was just a lot for... I'm like, we have one episode after this. Like, how much can you guys tell us in the rest of this episode and in the last episode? Smacked in the face. But we cut back to Arabella, and she has everything mapped out. And saying goes, I don't understand it. But this light bulb goes on for Bella, and she's like, I do. It's perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zane. And he's like, I'm glad I could help. Finally. I'm glad I could help finally. And as he's leaving, Bella tells him to take those bags with him. Take those bags with you. Get this baggage, get this hurt, get this pain, get this trauma out of my life, out of my room. Take those out. That was the last thing for her to get rid of. The last link, besides, it being here, the last physical link of her being assaulted that's been sitting in the middle of her room. We got it from the police station. We took it, put it under the bed. We put it on the bed. We cleaned the room. We put it on the floor. We cleaned the room even more, and it's still sitting there in the middle of the floor. Nope, you can take it. I'm done with it. I don't need it anymore. Oh, Bella. And, she says thank you one last time. But this time she doesn't call him Zane. She says, thank you, Della. Letting him know there's no open window here for anything. You helped me as a fellow writer, and I accepted it. Right now, in this space, in my mind, you're not Della. I'm not thinking about Zane, the attacker, the slip the condom off. I'm not thinking about that. Thank you, Della. All right, Bella. I see where you're going with this. I see. But we really get into Bella and this book. Whew. After Della leaves, get your ass out of here. I also want to speak on Ben. I love Ben. It's Are You Growing? Which I love that comment in this episode. Are you growing? Are you into growing? This whole episode, what has Ben been doing? Tending to some plants, growing some plants. All right, Ben. But anyway, Bella, she's completely dived in. There's no more lackluster for writing, not knowing what to write, not knowing what to do, not caring what to do. She is eat, sleep, living, breathing this draft. It's all about this book now. She has removed things from the wall just to make more space to add on. We see this montage. There's days going by. The clothes are changed. She's eating. Everything is in this room. Like, I'm not leaving until I get this draft done. Like, this would have been before I get to the end, because y'all know the end. But this would have been like a little bow on the whole series. Like, But with how this show has been, I was like, I can't wait to see 12, because this could have literally been the finale. We cut back to Ben taking care of those plants, and Arabella tells Ben, I'm going, to hang out in front of the Ego Death bar. You want to come? But it's like, I don't get out much. And she climbs through the window and leaves. And we kind of get a glimpse into Ben. He's watching this video about, feeling lonely and feeling left. And you kind of see that maybe Ben does have a little resentment of kind of being that outside friend. Ben is not so much in the circle. Granted, he opts to be by himself, but there's almost like there's a disregard for where if you're not coming out, or if we're, there's never a sense to go, hey, let's do something with Ben. Let's do something maybe Ben would want to do, since he doesn't, like the night scene. And she leaves, and Ben's just sitting there like, okay. But after she sits down and Terry walks up with her date, I realized that all this time, especially this last episode, when I thought that her and Terry were meeting at, some random space, they have been meeting outside of the Ego Death Bar. Terry's friend works at the Ego Death Bar. And this is when the show slapped me in the face. Slapped me in the face. Oh, I knew it was over when like the theatrical haunting music cut on. I was like, oh no. Oh man. Bella sees a man, a bald black man in a suit, and immediately gets flashbacks of what happened to her. We see him walk in, and she kind of gets this image back into her head of him standing there with a white male. Granted, I knew from the very first episode when she did get something put in her drink. The only unfamiliar face there, which I didn't know at the time because I wasn't even really paying too much attention to the black bald guy, I was looking at the only white male that was there. And I was thinking that he was the one that, put something in her drink and drugged her and assaulted her. But come to find out, he was assisted in this. He has a whole backup man. We see them, meet and put something in Arabella's drink, take her out of the bar, put her into a car, go to another bar, because at the time I was, under the influence that maybe they, took her back inside the bar and, did the assault and kind of, let her out of the bar and, this episode was a lot, I'm sorry. But, maybe they assaulted her in that same bar and, led her somewhere else, and she just kind of ended up where she ended up and wandered off. But no, these two gentlemen take Arabella out of the bar together into a car and go to a whole nother club And I was so nervous for her because I was like, if this is some kind of gangbang situation, this is going to be too much. Because as we've seen, she's seen, you know, multiple faces, especially when she's really in depth of thinking about the assault. We get these rays of just man, even, you know, even Simon. But it wasn't. Not that it made it any better, but it wasn't. He's just, you know, the lookout, the ass, the lookout to make sure, you know, nobody's coming in, nobody, you know, can see what's going on, to alert his man's in the bathroom. But we see him lead Arabella into the bathroom. We finally see how she gets the injury on her head. And we cut back to, you know, Arabella in disbelief. And we're left to wonder what's next. And it's scary. It's scary. They had to hit you with the 1-2 on the. I mean, you don't we complain, you know, when we get a shitty finale and it's like, that's it, like this is all you're gonna do. We went through all of this to lead up to here, but in this case, I was happy to see, you know, that little bow. After everything we've been through, I was happy to see that bow. I was happy to see Terry maybe find love and finally get a call back. I was happy to see Kwame, you know, end off with Tyrone in an art gallery, though he got that text letting him know, you're a pig. Kwame's like, que sera, can't do anything about that. Check out this art though. What about this art though? Still happy. I was happy, you know, to see Bella finally complete her draft, and but now we're left with, you know, episode 12, and I'm excited but scared to see what comes of that, because they saved it till the end, so I know it's gonna be something. But that was my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed this whole series and this episode. I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared to see episode 12, because that little montage, that little brief run we took, and it was like the last 2 minutes of the show, but we finally got to see what happened to her. Oh, she looked so scared. She looked so frightened to, you know, finally get those memories. Just imagine getting those memories, you know, thrown back at you after a year. You get triggered all over again after a year. But I'm interested to see, you know, how she deals with it in the next episode. But that was a review, you guys. Episode 11, Would You Like to Know the Sex? Which we see now was more geared towards Terry and her date situation, and also Kwame. Would you like to know the sex? Yes, Kwame, she wanted to know the sex. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you come back. I hope you subscribe. See you again for episode 12. Bye.